washing chickens in a dishwasher over this bloody bed. Hey everyone, Leilani Joy here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Paint Along. Today's Paint Along has a little theme, and I am calling it the Outtake Edition. Now, this is a completely experimental, weird thing that I'm trying, and basically, those of you who saw this on my Instagram post, I want to incite some outtakes today, hopefully. Not outtakes, because they're all going to be intakes. But basically, I've been obsessed with watching like SNL outtakes and my favorite show outtakes and bloopers, and just like, I love it when people just like can't get their laughter under control. And as some of you guys know, I recently lost my guinea pig Bammy, and I'm slowly coming out of my sadness, but it was my last piggy, and I loved him very, very dearly, and he had a wonderful 7 years of life and a peaceful death, surrounded by me and Brian just hugging him and loving him. But I've been really sad without my piggies, and it's been way too quiet in my studio, and I feel like I just need some levity, and I want to start off 2020 with some laughter, and that's where you guys come in. So today I had Tessa go through your questions, and they're in this top secret folder. So I have not previewed these questions, comments at all, and I will, your guys, the job for you today was to make me break into laughter, and I'm going to attempt to keep a straight face as long as possible, which is not easy for me to do anyway, but this should be interesting, and paint at the same time and teach you guys some stuff. So the first person, now the order of these has been randomized a little bit, so the first comment or question that makes me just completely laugh, like I can't hold back, is going to win a prize. They're going to win a print of their choice and some stickers and some other goodies. So without further ado, let's jump in. Also, to spread the love and joy, I'm doing a Valentine's Day themed piece, which I'm like stoked about this. I don't know where, most of the time I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm like getting frustrated, but this one just started developing really quickly, and I really am enjoying it and liking it. So let me show you what I'm working on, and let's get to get our giggle on. Hashtag get our giggle on. So before I throw my painting in, I just want to show you guys something else I just recently finished. Some of you guys have seen these already, but I recently finished this little collection of stickers that I'm calling Stick and Sketch. And this is like a little project that I've wanted to do. I had it in my like things to do business notebook forever, and I finally did it, and I love how these turned out. So if you're ever having like artist block and you're like, I don't know what to draw, get a little set of my stickers here, a stick of my stickers. I don't know. I'm already messing up, so this is already a perfect outtake episode. And I have 15 different little prompts on here that you can peel off, stick in your sketchbook, and do a little drawing next to it. And then you can share it with the hashtag Stick and Sketch on Instagram or Tumblr or wherever hashtags may be found. And then other people can find out what you did with your little sticker inspiration prompts. So yeah, so get those in my Etsy store today. If you're one of my Patreon patrons, you'll be getting your very own set of these. So just hold on, I'm getting those ready for you. If you are one of my Patreon patrons that gets goodies by mail, thank you guys for waiting. It's a long story. I had a big piece I was going to share with you, but I've not gotten permission from the client yet. So I have this piece that's just waiting to be revealed and sent to you, but I can't yet. So I did the Stick and Sketch collection for you, and then I'm going to be sending you a print of the piece I'm doing today. Anyways, all right, let's see. Let's take a look. So here is my sketch, and it looks a little bit crazy because I already did the transfer. So there's some like little guide marks and stuff, but I think she's pretty cool. I really kind of dig this. I was recently an artist I'm going to give her credit, named Amber Carr. I've loved her work for a long time, and she does these cool like devil kind of girls and stuff. And I don't know, I just, for Valentine's Day, I couldn't get this like love devil idea out of my brain. And so this is kind of going to be my interpretation of that. and she's, she keeps trying to stitch her heart back together, but it keeps getting pulled apart. You know how it is. Love sucks. And yeah, so she's just going to be this cool little pink devil girl with her little paper heart that she's, you decide. She's either stitching it back together or she's pulling it apart. And she's been through some things with her tears and everything. Anyway, this is going to be fun to paint. And I'm doing this kind of fun color scheme. As you can see here, I made a bunch of like paint swatches of all my spray paint colors. And so it's a really fun way to like put my palettes together. I can be like, oh, I like these together. I like this together. So this is kind of how I formed this sort of whimsical candy palette. And yeah, so I'm ready to start painting on this. So anyways, let's get to the most exciting thing is your humorous questions or comments. I don't have any idea what you guys came up with. I did say try to keep them PG-13, but I guess, I'm okay with a soft R. All right, okay, I have to get my game face on here. And to start, let's decide where we want to start painting first today so that I can kind of concentrate. So I think I'm going to I'm going to start filling in the hair, and I want to do this kind of like, I want to do black but with a very dark gray kind of mixed in there. Okay, let's start with our first question, see how we do. Deep breath, no laughing. And I've got this little privacy screen here, so the next comment will not be revealed. Okay, number 1. Our first question comes from Monica Safarowska. Did I say that right? That sounded good. Safarowska. Where have you been so long? I binged rewatched all your paint-alongs while painting 2 times. I love them. I miss them so much. Yeah, I know. It's been, like I said, I don't know. Christmas was crazy this year. I got so many orders. Thank you guys so much. And I threw my back out, like bending over, filling up packages. But it just like, I don't know. I didn't have time to do anything but fill packages most of November and December. So that was a big one. And then my guinea was sick and then he passed away. And then I was really bummed out. So that's kind of where I have been. And like I said, I did this painting, this giant 50-inch painting a couple months ago, and I can't share it. So that was the biggest reason why I was gone so long. Anyways, I'll be back for that. Anyways, I also watch podcasts and other people talking while working, but it's just not the same. Oh, thank you, Monica. I'm going to try and do more now. Definitely. I miss doing them, actually. You just give me that homey vibe with you talking about art. I feel like everything is going to turn out okay with my career as well when I'm listening to you experience of everything. Thank you so much. Well, that's just a sweet, loving comment. So thank you so much for that. It means so much to me. And I do that too. I love podcasts and stuff. Lately, we've been watching our favorite political program a lot, which is The Young Turks. But I'm like, I need like a political break sometimes. I love those guys, but I'm like, I need something more like calming and uplifting. Exactly. So thank you. I will do more. Okay. My next comment is from William Kogoy. If a train leaves station A at 63 miles per hour and a train leaves station B at 27, I'm not good at math. I'm already going to preface that. Leave station B at 27 kilometers per hour. What's the circumference of your mom's arse? I don't know. Good one. I didn't see that coming. My mom has a very ideal arse circumference for her age, and I hope to have a similar circumference arse at her age. Thank you, William. Okay, excellent. Good one. All right, I'm good. All right, I'm good. Okay, this might be harder than I thought. Okay, let's do a little bit of painting, and then I'll open up the next question. All right. Ooh. Okay. So while I'm in between, I'll get to another question. But what kind of got me started on this is I I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm a big Larry David fan. He's just like, I don't know, he's just such an a-hole that like does things that like I feel like most people think they want to do, but they wouldn't actually do. And he was on SNL a few years ago, and he had to do this skit. Oh God, what's the guy's name? So you can look it up. God, I'm forgetting it. Anyways, he was supposed to do this skit where it was like a police training exercise, and the police had to like, you know, they had their guns drawn, and they open up the windows and they have to decide whether or not they should shoot if it's an innocent person or if it's a criminal. And he's like, he's supposed to be this like ambiguous, like cheesy, like lawyer, used car salesman guy. And the outtakes of the skit were way funnier than the actual skit. He just could not say the lines without just dying laughing. And I was just, my stomach was just hurting watching him try to do this. And I highly recommend looking up that skit. It was one of the best ones. It's so funny because he always kind of plays this like, you know, he plays himself, right, where he's just kind of a jerk all the time. But when he gets like tickled by something, it is the funniest. It's the funniest thing you'll ever watch. Okay. All right. Oh, it's so amazing how you start to add a nice contrasty color, and you really start to see your piece emerging. Okay. I'm going to go to my next question now that I'm feeling calm and zen again. All right. I can do this. Okay, next question. I'm trying not to look. Okay. This is harder than it looks. Okay. All right, our next question comes from Harbinger. Hello. Hello, Harbinger 5581. So when I started watching your videos, I think about it was around the Aphrodite painting that went wrong. Oh, yes. I do remember that. That was a weird day. I was getting so frustrated. And you were using watercolors, but since you've switched to acrylics, I was wondering if you have a specific reason for the change. Was it a gradual thing? So that's not quite correct, actually. I was already doing mostly acrylic paintings down there, and I don't, I'm not what's the word? Exclusive with either medium. I like to go back and forth depending on what the piece calls for. And sometimes if I just want to do something kind of quick and, you know, like my little sticker designs, I wanted a little bit more of a quick colored sketch look to them. So that kind of depends on like just kind of what I'm in the mood for. I did a lot of watercolor and a lot of acrylic in college and oil painting. And I found that they're very different beasts, if you will, which is kind of interesting. They both function very differently. And so you kind of have to like switch the way your brain thinks. But yeah, I don't, I would say acrylic is my main medium of choice because I like the finished product. And I also like, I don't know, I like the permanence of it. There's something about watercolor that I'm always like, I don't know if this is going to last forever, if it'll like fade in the sun or whatever. But an acrylic painting kind of just seems like forever. I don't know. I like how a finished acrylic painting feels. So no, I don't know. I like both. I really like subtle plug these Arteza real brush pens. These things are amazing, and I've actually used these more than watercolor lately. And I did, if you guys want to see a review on these, I did a pretty thorough test review with them. And I found that when you like put them out in the sun, I tried everything to like test them against watercolors, and they outlasted. The pigment stayed really concentrated. Even I left a sample of them out in the sun for 5 days, and the watercolor, the Winsor Newton watercolor I had, faded a little bit, not too bad, but the real brush pen ink didn't fade at all, which I was really impressed by because I wasn't sure how they'd stack up against actual paint. But yeah, I love those. They're super saturated. I did all of my stick and sketch illustrations. These guys, these were all, sorry, that's blurry. This was with the real brush pens. So yeah. Anyway, so I didn't really switch. I just go back and forth. And in that particular case of the Aphrodite painting, I realized that it wasn't the right medium for the final result I wanted. And I think that's always, when I teach my class, it's something that I always kind of like encourage my students to experiment with, because I feel like a lot of frustration sometimes comes with your medium not matching what the final result you want is. And it's like, there's reasons why we have these great tools, right? But sometimes you have to just figure out what the right tools are. Okay, come on now. William is the only one that took a risk with a funny question, and I might have to give him the prize if the rest of you guys just want knowledge. Jeez, all here for knowledge and compliments. What kind of outtake paint along is this? Anyways, no, thank you. That's a great question. And I think it's never too late to try a new medium. I have a few little samples of the water-based oils, which I still like intend on trying out. I've just been like a chicken, and I've been like also busy, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to, start from scratch right now when I have a bunch of paintings that I need to do that are already lined up. It's like you kind of need room to like fail. I mean, I fail anyways, but it'd be nice to have a little wiggle room when you want to learn a new medium. Okay, right. Let's go for it. Next one is Laughing Andy asks, which is your favorite toe? That's a good one. I don't have a favorite toe. I have a least favorite toe, or a toe that I had a numb toe for a while. I had this, okay, that's not a laugh. When I worked in a shoe store for several years, I used to wear just like, fancy, pretty shoes to work, like, for fashion reasons. And my second toe went numb for like 3 years. I don't know if it's just because I was wearing heels a lot or what happened exactly, but yeah, that was weird. I have like my second toe on each foot is like longer than my big toe. I have like the aristocratic toe, they used to call it. And I hated it. Like all growing up, I was like, God, that looks so ugly. Like I hate that toe. And my mom was like, that means like you're a descendant of royalty. I'm like, no, that just means you're like inbred, I think. Something. I don't know what it means. Anyways, toes, I mean, I'm not like, some people are like, ew, feet. I'm like, okay, feet. I don't know. They don't really bother me that much. I used to do this thing at my sister all the time where I used to take ballet class, so I had like quite a lot of flexibility in my toes. So I would just like go up to her and just like spread my toes at her. And she's like, oh God, I hate that so much. Get away from me. And I just like, look at my feet. Look at my toes. Okay. All right. I'm good. I regain control. Okay, that's good. Okay, next. Let's see what we got. Megan Pan 85. Just a memory I find hysterical. Hey Megan! Oh my gosh. This is my my dear friend from high school. We used to take theater class together and we had so much fun. I do remember you and I like laughing ourselves silly on many occasions and probably getting in trouble. But we certainly did have fun. Remember we were like, you had to be the dormouse and you wore my little pink kitty jacket and I had to be, okay, so I don't know what memory you're gonna tell me because I didn't read it yet, but we were in this like play that was like, it was kind of like Into the Woods or something. It was like where everything, all the fairy tale characters were like mixed up, and I really wanted to be Snow White, and I tried out for Snow White and I got in the play, but I had the part they assigned me was the Wicked Witch of the West. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess that was more fitting for me. And I had to paint my face green. And then there was one day we did like a matinee show and I couldn't get all the green off and I had to go to class with like partially green face. Anyways, that was cute. Got a lot of dates from that. Okay. So Megan says, okay, when we did, oh my God, yes. Okay. We did a scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Oh my God, this was so funny. I was the John Candy part, and I had to make snoring noises. I also had to be super annoying, and we almost couldn't hold in our laughter on stage. Oh my God. Oh, that was so funny. That we had to do. Oh, okay. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm remembering it. So she's kind of cheating because she's telling me something that was super, super funny at the time. We had to do a 2-person scene. And I do believe this was my idea, Megan. I probably pressured you into doing it, but I'm glad we did because that's one of my favorite movies ever. And we did the scene in the hotel room. Okay, we did the scene in the hotel room where, like, have you guys seen this movie? I don't know. It's kind of like vintage now, so some of you younger viewers may not have seen it, but it is probably my favorite comedy movie. Still is. And their flight gets canceled and there's no hotels, so they end up getting a hotel room together, and there's only one room left and it only has one bed. I can't believe we did this in high school, you and I. Actually, I feel like this is like pretty edgy. And they're like trying to share the bed, and he's snoring, and Steve Martin is the straight man in the scene, which is the part I played. And then he just gets so annoyed, and he jumps out of bed, and he's screaming at him. Oh my God, it's just hysterical. So we did that whole scene in front of our entire class, and that was I wish we had camera phones back then because I would so love to see it. I feel like we were quite successful, but that could just be in my memory. But it was absolutely hilarious. I expect you to have a little string on your chest that to pull out and have to snap back. Oh, Megan, okay. I don't know. She may have got me because that was freaking hilarious. Oh, sorry. Okay, well, there we go. I think she may have got the prize, but it was a little bit unfair because we share a mutual hilarious memory. So let's say this. I technically did just laugh right now. But I will do 2 prizes. So Megan, you're going to get a prize for that. And if there's a second runner-up, they will also get a prize because I'm feeling generous today. I'm feeling full of joy and generosity and hunger. My husband's supposed to be bringing me lunch today. Where is it? Because I'm hungry. If you hear my stomach growling on the camera, that's why. Because I hadn't done this for a while, so it took me a while to set up. And then I'm like, I want to get this going, so I didn't have time. And then I'm like, by the time you're all set up and ready, you're like, oh, now stomach wants to eat. And this is going to slow down my whole process. Okay. Next one is not art related. This is from J. Weiss Art. Hello, J. Weiss Art. Not art related, but a joke that made me laugh. What's the opposite of Christopher Walker? I can't say this. What's the opposite of Christopher Walker? Christopher Reeve. That's horrible. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, that's great. Sorry, you got me. Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh at disabled jokes. But I feel like it's not that bad. Like, okay, it's just, but okay, you get a point for that. God, I thought I was going to be able to hold this together a lot longer. All right, well, she did get me, so I don't know. It looks like Megan and J. Weiss Art. Damn it. Oh, okay. Good job. I have not heard that before. Speaking of Christopher Walken, my sister loves Christopher Walken. She has like this major crush on him. Do you know he's has professional dancer? Like he is amazing. I'm a fan of him as well. I used to be obsessed with that Weapon of Choice music video by Fatboy Slim, and I used to watch it every day on MTV, like before I went to class, because it used to be like one of the like top videos or whatever. I was just so obsessed with that. Okay, good one. And what? Okay, let's see. All right, Jen Arc. Hey, Jen Arc, how you doing? It's been a bit. It's nice to hear from you. Um, hey, Leilani, I was wondering, have you played some Calm games like Journey? Yes, I love Journey. Oh my God. Fun fact about Journey. Journey is won a Grammy for Best Game Soundtrack when the year it came out. It had the most beautiful soundtrack. And after I played it, I listened to the soundtrack like every night when I went to bed for like weeks and weeks. I wept. Speaking of emotions, I wept like a baby at the end of that game. It was so beautiful. And I don't want to spoil anything for those of you who haven't played it, but it's been out for a long time now, so it's kind of, your fault if you don't know. But in the game, you have this little, you have a little friend, a little partner that, helps you along. And you don't find out till the end. Okay, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That they're a real person. I didn't know that. I thought it was a computer-generated character, but that's actually, you have a real person that you connected with who's also playing at the same time. And I was like, that is so cool. And you go on this little journey together. I don't really want to give away anything else, but it's just stunning. I think it won a lot of awards. You can play it in one sitting. It's probably only maybe an hour or two of gameplay. I don't know. Loved it. It feels a bit like Gris, like mood wise. The gameplay is different, but which I also loved. But yeah, highly recommend it. And she said, have you played Journey? Yes. Or Abzu. I don't know about that one, so thank you for the suggestion. I have never heard of that. If not, are there games which you enjoy together? I'm going to look up Abzu. Thank you so much for that suggestion. We're always looking for co-op games. Yeah, so great question for you gamers out there, especially gamers that have boyfriends, girlfriends who like to play too. It's hard to find great couch co-op games, so we're always on the look for those. But a couple that just spring to mind, we do play our fair share of shooters. Actually, we're pretty into Fortnite right now. I know, I never thought I'd be into Fortnite and playing with little children, but it's pretty freaking fun. And I have some really cute little characters. I feel like they have got my number on the character designs. And I'm like, I should do some character designs for Epic because they have a very their style aesthetic on a lot of these. I'm like, oh my God, if that character wasn't made for me, then I just don't know what is. And it's fun, and we have some other friends that we play with, and but we play Call of Duty a bit. One of our favorite older games that we still play is Left 4 Dead. It's just an awesome zombie shooter game. But a few other ones that we really like are the Tomb Raider Lara Croft spin-off series. They're co-op and online, and they have puzzles you can solve that require two people. They're really fun. There's two of them. There's Guardian of Light and Temple of Osiris, I think, are the two. And they're probably super cheap now, but they're awesome. I hope they make some more, especially because I'm a Tomb Raider fan anyways. But they're really great puzzles and really, really fun for two people. I've heard there's this little game called Overcooked that I want to get because a lot of people have suggested that one to me and said that it's really fun for two people and multiplayer. But yeah, I always love a good couch co-op game. We tried Cuphead, but Cuphead was way too hard. I consider myself a well-trained side scroller platformer person because I come from retro Nintendo, and that thing was freaking impossible. My hands went numb trying to play that. I'm like, no, this is way too hard. I heard some people put a rubber band around the controller to hold the shooting button down, and I'm like, that's just too much. I already have problems with my wrists and hands. With that said, Brian got me my very first Nintendo Switch for my birthday this year. So I am very excited to that, and that has a lot of great two-player games. Mostly, though, I've been playing all the retro, Super Nintendo games, because it's my youth, and it's really fun to revisit those. So I'm loving it. I have he also got me Breath of the Wild, but I haven't started it yet because I really want to like. I'm so weird now. I feel like I have to like earn my games. Like I'm like I have to get another painting done before I let myself immerse in a big game like that. But it's sitting there waiting for me. So hopefully soon. All right. Well, I've got probably quite a bit of the hair in, so we can kind of see it. I'll get a finer brush to do a few more defined pieces. But let's do a little bit. Let's start a little bit on her face as well. Let's do that. Let's do it. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, good job so far. And I realized earlier that I said Christopher Walker on that joke, so I like ruined the joke. It was Christopher Walken, and I don't know why I said Walker, because I knew it was Christopher Walken. God, I'm a terrible comedian. I'm sorry. Okay, next I have, okay, so we had Jen. Thank you, Jen. And sorry, I'm wiggling this. Okay, next, here we go. Amber. Hello, Amber. Hi, nice to see you. Nice to hear from you, I should say. Okay, here are two little jokes for you. All right, here we go. All right, are we in focus? So let's try to deliver these better. Okay. Toothless termite walks into a bar and says, "Where's the bartender?" Where's the toothless? Okay. Toothless termite walks into a bar and says, "Where's the bartender?" Oh, Jesus, I'm stupid. Where's the bartender? Like, where can he not? Okay, you guys got it. I missed it. Over my head. That's cute. That's cute, but I am too stupid to get it. Okay, joke number 2. Why did Aladdin go to the haunted mansion? I don't know. Tell me, Amber. He was looking for Abu. Abu! Oh, that's really cute. That's great. Actually, speaking of that, I just watched the, speaking of embarrassing, no, just kidding. I recently watched on Disney Plus the live action Aladdin. And can someone tell me why we put Will Smith as the genie? I mean, actually, he was okay. Listen, I kind of liked it. It was like I feel like the movie, I had heard it wasn't great, but I thought it was like a strong B. There was some things I thought like didn't work about it. I thought that like Aladdin and Jasmine were like really well cast. I thought they were perfect. They looked great. He was adorable. He was darling. He was like my, childhood toon fantasies come true, which that sounds kind of like creepy now because he's probably like 10 years younger than me. Pedo. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, he was cute. But who didn't do it for me was Jafar. Jafar, why? Why was that guy Jafar? Like, he just, like, seemed too small, first of all. Like, not to be, like, heightist or anything, but, like, Jafar is this, like, really, like, long, lean figure, and he's very tall and menacing and long in the face, and I just, like, I thought that was really, he was, like, too attractive, also. He was too young, he was too attractive, his voice wasn't right. It was really strange. And I saw some people online saying that, so it was weird, because there was another guy in the movie. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent, but that's how it rolls on this show. This is what happens when you just have conversations with yourself. You're like, oh yeah, did you like that movie? I did, thanks for asking. God, Hakeem? I think it's Hakeem. The character of Hakeem, the actor that played Hakeem would have been a perfect Jafar. I was like, why didn't they switch roles? It was so weird. And there was some like fan people online who thought that should have been as well. I also think, hear me out, I think The Rock would have been a better genie, actually. Plus, he's a really good singer. I thought he would have had the right, obviously his like body type is a little bit more, I don't know. I just felt like they pulled Will Smith out of like 1999 and it like just didn't really work as well. I thought he was funny at times. I thought it was cute, and I was always a Will Smith fan, but there was just like times where like it kind of seemed dated somehow, and I especially didn't think that his singing, like it I mean, Robin Williams did such an iconic job with the animated one, so I know that's a hard act to follow, but I don't know. I just didn't think he was quite right for it. And sometimes, like, when he was in genie form, the CG just looked really bad to me. I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Amber. Thank you for the Disney jokes. Really funny. Okay, next I've got one from the Creative Dragoness. Ooh, I love that. That's a great name. The Creative Dragoness. What is one of your silliest life stories? Oh God. Oh, I've got so many. Hey, that's a great question though. Okay. I can think of a few, but oh God. Let's see. Maybe like I could expand on this. Like, okay. Let me think of a few. So one time, one of my most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me happened. I don't even know if I should share this on the internet because here we are. But when I was in 5th grade, we had some unit where we're like supposed to be like learning about like fat content and food, and so they gave us like a brown paper bag, and you're supposed to take different foods and like roll it on the bag and see how much like grease came out of it. I guess I don't really know what we're learning, but there was this kid in my class, and he had like a craft single, like those little orange squares, and he was just like grinding it. I don't know, this is so vivid in my mind. He's grinding this piece of cheese like into this brown bag like so vigorously, and we all just started like laughing really hard because he was just like turning it into paste, and I laughed so hard that I farted really loud, like like that, and everyone in my group just like froze. And then the kid that was grinding the cheese, I was grinding the cheese apparently, he like looked, his face just dropped, and he's like, you farted, and I was just like, oh my God, just strike me down, let me die right now, like just let me die. Like I was just so awful. And then he just like fell out of his chair laughing, and there was this sweet girl in my group, I will have to like owe her for the rest of my life. She's like, it's not that big a deal, you fart all the time. Like came to my aid because I was just like frozen in fear. I don't know. It was a terrible memory that's still ground deeply into my mind. But a recent story. I shouldn't even admit this because this is like a weird like Larry David thing. So where I live, a lot of people sometimes put things out on the street, like free, like take this or whatever. And it's like, okay, if it's there for a few days, like fine, but then like get rid of it. And so there was, I probably shouldn't admit this on the internet either, but this didn't end up coming to fruition, so it doesn't matter. But somebody put this giant like old exercise bike out on the street, and it was like, I don't know. They wrote a sign like still works or whatever. I was like, God, that's a hideous thing. It looked like it was something from like the 70s or something. And it was out there for a few days, and then it was gone. I'm like, okay, fine. And so then like a week later, my husband and I were at a little local restaurant. It's kind of like off the beaten path. It's near our neighborhood. And I saw that bike, they like tried to hide it like behind a building, like just like on the side of the road. They just like threw it there. So obviously nobody picked it up. So they were like, I don't want this thing, and I don't want to like bother to actually like get it picked up or disposed of in some proper way. So they just threw it on the side of the road. And I'm like, oh hell no, I know where you live, person that tried to dump this bike earlier. So I come up with this idea. I was like, Brian, like what if like we pick up this bike and we return it and put it back in front of the house where it was, and like put a sign on it that says like, you can't get rid of me that easily. And he's like, okay, let's totally do this. So we like dressed up in black like bandits. We probably could have got arrested because we were being very suspicious. And we had like black beanies on and black sweats. And we drive out to where the bike is. It's not even that late. It's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. And we are like all prepared. I print out the sign like to like, you can't just throw me away. And like we tape it to the bike and everything. And then we try to get the bike into the car, and it's like all wet because it like rained, and it was like all slippery, and it weighed like 1,000 pounds. So we couldn't even lift it and get it in the car. And I was like, oh shit, like if we even get it in the car and we're like wrestling with it to like put it back in front of the person's house, like we're totally gonna get caught. And so we're like, okay, screw it. So we just like put it back and we just ran away. And I don't know why we did this. We did this like last week. And so it didn't end up happening, but I really wanted it to happen because I just wanted to like think about the expression on that person's face when they saw that their bike had like returned itself from like across town, like on the side of the road. And to answer your questions, I know it was the same bike because they had this sign on it that said like, oh, it doesn't really work or whatever they had. So I knew it was the same one. It was very distinctive. Anyway, so that's at least somewhat silly story. Oh gosh, I fall down all the time, so, and there's often times, like, I wish that was somehow recorded on video, because I'm sure it's, like, super funny. Let's put some lipstick on. But I had these this is a stupid story, and it's probably not even funny if you can't visualize it, but I had these stupid, like, really long, like, sweatpants. Like, I mostly wear sweatpants around the house, and they were too long for me, and so I just got up and I was walking across the room and I have to demonstrate this with my sleeve, right? And so I stepped down and one foot went into the opposite foot pant leg, and then when I went to take a step, my legs like this, and I could not get out of the pant leg, and then I just like splatted face down on the floor. Like I was just like did this like wiggly dance and just like ate it so hard, and I was like, I wish I could have seen what I just looked like, because it was probably just like the stupidest looking thing you could ever imagine. There was another time, oh god, I have so many. I have to think about more embarrassing things that happened to me. But when my parents first got a puppy, like the last few years, they had like these puppy gates, right? So I was at home and I didn't like remember that they had the puppy gate, because I came downstairs in the middle of the night just to get like a drink of water, and I like didn't have my glasses on, I don't know. So I got down to the bottom of the stairs, and the puppy gate was between the stairs and the kitchen, and I'm just like half asleep, and I just like kind of walked quickly, and I just hit the puppy gate like right at the wrong moment, and my front body just went over the fence. And like I did like a dolphin dive over this puppy fence. Oh my god, sorry. And my face just like skid on the carpet. And my legs were sticking up over the end of the puppy fence, and nobody saw. I'm just laying there on the floor, and I'm like, oh my god, if only someone had witnessed that fall, because it was just so weird. Okay. Woo. Oh, that one got me good. That's actually a perfect question to ask, because you really have to like make a joke, but just me embarrassing my own self is like really funny. Okay, that looks like a mustache right now, so let's hurry up and get some lipstick on. I think I decided to do black because I think it's kind of cool, but I always feel like just like in real life, when you put on black lipstick, you're like, is this really the way I want to go? Because this is like a choice, right? This is like an epic choice if I want to commit to this. But I think it will be cool, actually. Especially with like I like the kind of the trifecta of black. So I've got the eyebrows, hair, and the lips. Ooh, oh my god. Okay. That gave me a good chuckle. Thank you. Thank you, the creative dragoness. Excellent. That made me laugh so hard. My nose is snotty now. Always have some paper towels nearby for some happy snot accidents. Okay. All right. She okay. All right. And, okay, what do we got now? What was that? Jesus. It's bizarre. Did you guys hear that? It was like my throat was like, ah. Okay. Liz V. Art asks, what's one thing that really turns you into Leilani not so joy? Oh, that's a loaded question, and that is hilarious. Not so joy. Babies on airplanes. I know they have to fly, but why do I have to suffer? It's always like, I mean, I'm not like totally anti-child. Like, I like some children. I understand they have to live among us, but like, oh my God, I'm always stuck. Like, it's just like a thing. It's like a thing that I'm cursed with. I'm always stuck next to the most fussy, crying, screaming infant on the airplane. And it's like, and bringing them to movie theaters in any situation. My husband and I tried to go see, I mean, it was the Winnie the Pooh movie, which, yeah, it's for kids, but like, this family brought an infant, and it was just like, oh my God, they would get up and walk out, get up when I walk out, and it was like so distracting. I finally just was like glaring at them. I'm like, why did you buy a ticket? You're not watching the movie. Like, it's just so freaking frustrating. Oh gosh, yeah, I have probably a few other pet peeves. I hate people who like, I've said this before. I don't like people who like will like one up you, or when you're talking, they're like and then they just want to talk about themselves. I'm just like, okay. I mean, like, I'm a very good like listener. I feel like I love to give people like a chance, like especially when I'm feeling nervous. But there's always people that just like go and go and go, and they never take a breath, and they never ask how you are or anything about you, and it's like, oh my God, you're just like so like unfun to hang out with. What else makes me not so joy? I'm pretty joyful most of the time, honestly. Pain sucks. I've been very fortunate in my life not to have a lot of like ailments most of my life, but like this last year, I don't know if it's age or what, but I've been having like every kind of freaking problem. I feel like a car that's like, it's like about ready for trade-in. And it's like, why is everything breaking at once? And I mean, look at how I'm painting right now, like a hunchback. So, I mean, that's terrible. But I'm doing this for your benefit in this case, so you guys can see what I'm doing. But I'm trying to be better when I'm not doing video, that I sit up better. Because I think, honestly, I'm convinced that bad posture has, like, made so many problems for me. I've been having, like, these headaches and eye strain. If any of you have experienced these things, you guys chime in, because I'm starting to think. I've been back and forth to the doctor, and they finally were like, would you like to go on antidepressants? And I'm like, no. Why aren't you taking my symptoms seriously? They think I'm imagining it, because I've been having like really intense like sinus headaches, but they couldn't find anything. They gave me a CT scan, and they gave me oh God, they stuck this tube up my nose. That's not so joy. Oh my God, I had a nasal endoscopy, and that was literally one of the worst things that I've ever experienced. It's like, I thought I was getting lobotomized. I'm not kidding. They shoved this pipe up my nostril, and he's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, like, that feels awful. And then it felt terrible for hours after that. It felt like I swallowed a handful of mercury. It was freaking terrible. And they're like, well, I don't see anything. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, maybe you should go on antidepressants. And I'm like, no, though, I have a headache. But now I'm convinced that it might actually be coming from my neck, from like how I've been bending forward and like straining those muscles. And it's actually like connecting up to my face and my, even, it feels like it's my sinuses, but it's actually not that. That's what I think anyways, but no doctor has told me this yet. So that definitely has made me less joyous, because I've been like miserable, and it's made my eyes like actually like a little bit blurry and like strained. So that's been stressful. I ran to my eye doctor, and then she was like, well, I don't see anything wrong with your vision. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, there has to be something that's causing this. So anyways, I'll report back if I figure any of that out. If any of you guys have gone through that, I know there's people going to the doctor now who are like, it's like you were looking at computers and phones and otherwise bending down and doing terrible things to our neck and posture. So I am convinced that there's like going to be an epidemic of people with like weird symptoms like I'm describing, because of how we're straining our neck and upper back muscles. And my shoulder is like really weird. So I don't know what's going on with it. So yeah, anyways, way to take the fun out of it, Liz. Way to bring me down to a less joyous place. I was very joyful earlier. Well, why don't we I hate painting noses, so I'm not going to work on that today because I'll just get angry and frustrated and that'll take all the joy and fun out of this. Well, we should remember, now teeth are so weird because it's like you don't want to actually, for the most part, like paint the individual teeth because it just looks weird. Like you don't, like, it's one of those like weird things that it's like if you paint them in, it looks strange even though you can see that. But like when you're kind of like far away, your eyes don't like focus on the individual teeth. So I think it's like one of those things that's like, unless it's a very extreme close-up portrait, I don't usually, I mean, you might put a little indication of the front teeth, division of the front teeth, but for the most part I don't, because I just think it looks weird. It's funny, huh? Because it's like, yeah, you have that. The other thing on that note is like fingernails. I notice a lot of artists don't actually paint fingernails. I don't usually either, because sometimes I think also that looks like slightly too weird, especially when I'm doing something kind of graphic that's not like hyper detailed. It seems like it just seems out of place to have that. But I'm giving her painted nails, so they are going to show up a little bit, but it's one of those weird things, right? It's like how much details. It's like, do you actually want to have nose hairs showing? And it's like, no. But some people who do hyper realistic, like photographic, they might have like lots of, like they have like a one hair brush and they actually paint like individual hairs, but that kind of depends. But I always think it's a good practice to kind of decide how much detail you want and not like overdo it. Like decide like one area that's going to be a little bit more detailed. I always think that's really effective in art, especially on portraits, because you have the most contrast, you have the most details actually in the face area, and then you might not have as much in other areas, because when we look at something with our eyes and we're focused on one thing, everything around it actually has like a little slight blur to it. So I always think that works good in artwork. And I do see some people that get a little bit carried away with details, and it just looks like it kind of overwhelms the eye sometimes. It depends on your style. But sometimes I just feel like less is more, actually. And it can be more effective to just choose a few areas that are going to get detail, and the rest could be even a little bit abstract or looser. I love art that has like that. I don't really do this that much in mine, but I love art that has that like finished, unfinished look to it, like almost like process drawings or something. Like they'll really render out the face and they're like, a couple strands for hair, a couple lines to indicate their figure, and then they just leave it like that. And I'm like, I just always think that's kind of cool. But that's a personal taste thing too. Some people just really love detail, and that's part of their process, right? And they love rendering out things, and they do it so beautifully and skillfully that everything I just said is BS. So, I'll leave it up to you what your personal aesthetic is, but I don't know. Okay. Get a little bit of form coming out there. Oh, we're starting to see her a little bit. Hello, devil woman. Okay, that's all the singing you're getting today. All right, okay, I've got a question. Oh, Acer Art just says hello there. Is there a rest of that? I don't know. I don't see any other comment. Hello there to you. Harbinger says, also, what do vegan zombies say? What do vegan zombies say? Grains. That's cute. That took me a minute. I was like, I want to get this right. Grains. That's great. But not if they're gluten-free. If they're gluten-free and vegan, then they don't say grains. They say grass. No, that doesn't rhyme with brains. I don't know. I'll come up with a punchline for that next time. That's cute. I'm actually surprised I haven't. Some of these jokes I have not heard before. Okay. Did I get, is that all of them? I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Maybe I'll have to I'll scroll through my Instagram one last time before I go, just to make sure that there wasn't a few last minute stragglers that have a question or humorous comment. But I think this went okay for our trial run. I don't know. Would you guys like to do this again? I mean, we could always just kind of like have this as a general rule, right? Like, if you want to put something funny in there, go for it. But yeah, I know we want to talk about art and learning and stuff. So maybe the next one we'll do another normal one. But I just wanted to try this as an experiment, and I actually really enjoyed it. You guys had some great jokes for me, and it really brightened my day. So thank you, and I appreciate your creativity on this, because it was kind of a hard ask. I realized I was like, how do you like make somebody laugh? It's very difficult, and sometimes it's like, you know, it depends on the mood of the moment, right? Another thing that I was watching are those the thing that Jimmy Kimmel does, the mean tweets. Oh my god, those crack me up. But I love the ones where the person really starts laughing. And again, there was a Larry David one, and they were like, we couldn't even get like a clean take from him because he just laughed the entire time. He laughed at every single one. I'll have to like insert a clip of these because it's so freaking funny. He just can't even say it. Now, I don't want to do mean tweets because, frankly, I actually don't get a lot of mean tweets. I used to get quite a few mean like YouTube comments, but I feel like that's actually been less, especially since I stopped reading them, or I have like somebody vet them for me, so I don't have to like really subject myself, because I used to get a little bit down about it, and now I just kind of, because I don't know, you guys know how it is. YouTube is kind of a weird place sometimes. And I feel like I had this little group of people that really didn't like me. And so whenever I'd post a new video, they'd like immediately downvote it, even though there was no way they could have watched the full video. And I was like, oh my God, like, ah. Even though I had a ton of upvotes and like nice comments from you guys, I would still like get really hung up on like the few mean ones. So I don't know. Why are we creatures like that? You can get 20 compliments and one person says something negative and you're like, that one must be true. That's the only one that must be true. And it's like, it's not. I don't know. I'm getting better about not feeding into that, but I do know it can be difficult. And sometimes it can be why you feel anxious about putting yourself out there, you know, which I totally understand. Okay, I want to do her eyes. Like, I kind of like the red, so I'm going to do this dark. I want to do like a dark magenta red for her eye color, because I think that would be cool, and I haven't done that before. Okay. So anyways, I want to try to get back to doing some more paint-alongs. So if you guys have a question or just something you'd like to see discussed on here, feel free to post it below in the comments with the hashtag AskLJ. And also, if you sketched something today, use the hashtag Leilani look, and I will try to bring that back too, because I know it's been a while since I've done this, but I know for a while you guys were sharing what you were working on. I thought that was really fun to check it out. Speaking of that, I added a critique tier to my Patreon. So if you want like a monthly critique on a piece from me, and I may do, I think I said it was written, but I might do it in video format, because I think that would be really useful. My dear student Penny, hi Penny, if you're watching today, is a student of mine and a Patreon supporter, which means the world to me. And she had like a lot of questions for me recently, and I was like, I think it might be easier if I just like kind of answer her questions in video format. And I think it's kind of it's more personal, and also like, I don't know, sometimes it's hard, especially when you're feeling vulnerable, to just get a really lengthy like lecture-y email. I just feel like that doesn't like feel as good, especially when you're trying to kind of figure things out, and you just get like a big list of like, well, work harder and do more and do this and do that, and you're like, okay, that's just overwhelming. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a more of a personal touch sometimes when I can actually do it in audio form, because I'm a very like audio person. I don't mind writing too, but I don't know, does that make any sense? Anyway, so if you're interested in that, if you're possibly interested in having a video critique from me. What? That doesn't, this color that comes out, like it looks nothing like the label here. It's weird. I don't know. Anyways, today I'm painting with Arteza acrylic paints. And if you want to check these out, here's my affiliate link. Subtle plug there. So yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in private critique tiers. I probably won't do like live like Skype like mentor-y type things, at least not right now, just because my schedule's a little bit erratic and it's hard for me to figure out a time that works for both of us. But if you send me written questions, I can answer them via video, which would be kind of cool. All right, there's a little bit of red. It's cool when you start to see a face, right? I do love that. I can't wait to get this piece out to you guys for Valentine's Day. This is kind of weird because I should show you guys some of the references I had. I found some really cool, like I said, I was kind of looking at Amber Carr's work, but I was also looking at people who did makeup like inspired by her, and also just like kind of like the pinup devil kind of like, there's these people that did like full makeup where they body painted themselves and stuff. I was like, these are so neat. And so I really want to do some more like just like non-natural skin tone like girls. I want to do kind of like a whole series. If you guys like these, please let me know and I will continue on this, because I just think it's really fun and it's a good challenge for yourself, because you get used to painting like maybe 3 different skin tones, but how to do I'm saying a lot, sorry, I'm concentrating on painting a small area, experimenting with light and cool and shadow and stuff in a non-natural skin tone is a good challenge for yourself. So it's fun and I'm really excited about this one. When I did the sketch, I was like, I don't know, I usually like fight the sketch stage a lot, and I liked this one very early on, and I was like, this never happens to me. It's just almost weird that I quite liked it in the early stage. So hopefully I'm not going to ruin it in the painting stage, because that would be very infuriating. Okay, so let me check one more time my Instagram and just make sure I got all of your comments in. I found one that I have not seen, so this one might have come in right as maybe as I was doing this. Let's try this color real quick. That's a nice color. Okay, Lost Dream Illustrations 1995 was a very good year. Okay, she says, hope your year is going great so far. So far, it's been okay. It's been okay. Always could be better, could be worse. And do you know how many pancakes it takes to cover the top of a doghouse? I have no idea, because ice cream doesn't have bones. How many pancakes it takes to cover the top of a doghouse? What? Wait. How many pancakes it takes to cover the top of a doghouse? I have no idea, because ice cream doesn't have bones. I don't understand this joke. Is this a weird thing? Or is this like a punchline that I'm not understanding? Okay. Anyway, what is the strangest dream that you have had that you can recall? Mine was washing chickens. Mine was washing chickens in a dishwasher and then chasing them. Have a great day. Awesome. I will enjoy that dream. God, weirdest. I have a lot of weird dreams, honestly. I had a dream the other night that my husband was not too happy about, that we somehow knew James Franco and his, like, I guess, wife? I don't know if he has a wife. I didn't know who she was in the dream. And we were, like, at a dinner party, and he was like, he was, like, making that squinty face. He's like, so, you guys into swinging? Like, you want to swing with me? And I'm like, oh, I guess. And then I was like, I was like skeptical about it, but I somehow remember agreeing. So I guess I never got to the next step in the dream. I'll just preface that. There was only that part. And I was like, this is weird. Because I hadn't watched anything with him in it recently or like have any reason to really think about James Franco, but there you have it. I have a lot of scary dreams, actually. This one that like always stands out to me is like this one where I was like stuck in the mud and these tree people were trying to like pull me down under the mud. That was scary. I do have a lot of dreams about bathrooms. So whatever that means, like dirty bathrooms, like, or I have to really go to the bathroom and it's either like, you know, you open up it's usually public restrooms is the thing. I'll open the stall door and it's like, you know, smeared everywhere. It's like repulsive. Or the door, there's no door. Sometimes there's no stall door. Or one time the toilets were really high, like too high to like get on top. I don't know. It's so weird. I read somewhere that that's because you like have fears of humiliating yourself, but like lately I don't know. I don't really feel like that's a big thing. I don't have like a big public speech to make anytime soon, but maybe it's just that I drink too much tea before bed. Oh, there goes my stomach again. I don't know. Anyways, it's time for lunch soon. Okay. I think okay. Oh, here we go. Midnight Doll Art. Somehow I missed you, Midnight Doll. How have you been? It's so nice to hear from you. I hope you've been well. I hope I can do another Twitch stream soon because I know some of you guys I love to hang out with on the Twitch stream and chat with you guys live. I have so this is not my main art making studio anymore. I have one outside of my house now, which is super awesome, but I haven't figured out exactly how to, like the way it's set up is like kind of like shared space style. Like I have my own private area, but there's no like ceiling enclosure of my studio space. So the sound, I tested it was really, really echoey, and I was like, that's not ideal for like streaming and whatnot. But I'm wondering if like maybe like a lapel mic or a different type of mic might help that. I use this Yeti guy, which is really good. I like the sound quality, but I do notice that it can be a bit echoey, depending. Like my workroom that I'm in now here at my house, we got hardwood floors in this room now, and now I notice there's a lot more echo than there used to be, which is kind of like annoying because I felt like, I think it sounds okay now. I think I got it set up. I put like some pillows and pads on the floor to like be my little sound barriers, but anyways, on a tangent there. So Midnight Doll says, when it comes to video game romance, who would you choose for life to marry? Ooh, okay, Hancock from Fallout 4, Nick Valentine, Fallout 4. I really wish they made him a romance partner. I know, I kind of thought about that too. He's kind of like a dad. He's like a dad figure, but like for that like older man thing, like yeah, Nick Valentine. I thought about that too. I was like, how isn't he romanceable? I guess, yeah, I don't know, because like there's plenty of people that would be into an older, mature detective, I feel like, you know. Or Garrus from Mass Effect. Also, sorry for your husband. Sorry to your husband for this question. Oh my god, this is the perfect opportunity. I have to show you guys something. Hold on. Well, does this answer your question? Oh. So, thank you to my dear friend Dawn that picked me up this Garrus body pillow. I don't have a body pillow yet, so he's just in a regular pillow. But check this out. Side, so we can spoon. So we can spoon this way. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, yeah. So I have a major Garrus thing, obviously, if you can't tell. And, you know, if my husband has to travel for business, then, you know, you'll know he'll be sharing the bed. So apparently, okay, this is a funny story because somebody, and the BioWare store made these Garrus body pillow cases as a prank on April Fool's Day. and they didn't actually sell them, but they were people wanted them so bad that like somebody started making them. I don't know who to credit. My friend got this for me at a con, so I don't know if you can buy them online. Maybe you can, but it's amazing. It's everyone's favorite sexy Turian, so I am a happy lady. So if you guys are Mass Effect players, you know what's going on. You're like, this woman's got some kind of like alien fetish. I don't know what's happening. Yes, I do. Anyways, to answer the question, I have to pick Garrus because he's just my main man. It's the voice, it's the sense of humor, he's a bad boy, he's badass, who's super loyal and stays by your side. I mean, God, it's awesome. It doesn't matter that he's an alien. It doesn't matter. We'll work out the physical stuff. We'll get Morden to give us some pamphlets so we can figure out how all this works, and it'll be great. But that said, I do love Hancock. Hancock is my oh gosh, this is a perfect time to show you guys. I have to do a plug for my awesome friend Ian. I meant to share this before because he's made me some really awesome ACEO cards, but I have to show you guys this one. Check this out. Isn't this amazing? So this is me, and this is my Fallout character, and here's my my husband Hancock. And so if you guys aren't gamers, you're like, what's with you and like the ugly like dudes? It's not about looks, okay? It's about personality. And okay, Hancock has a slight drug problem, but you know, that's sexy, is it? Anyways. So yeah, so this is, I just want to give a special shout out and thank you to Ian, who's an awesome artist and always makes me amazing cards. I have a request for my next one though. Ian, if you're watching this, my current obsession is all things Adam Driver. I don't know what it is. It's so weird because I know he's like not like typically handsome or anything, but it's so weird. Like before I was like even really knew about him that much. I'd seen him in a couple things and I was like having dreams about him and I was like, what's going on? He's like kind of fugly and weird and I don't know if I even like him. And then I was like, and now I've seen him in a lot of things and he's just an incredible actor. If you don't know who I'm talking about, he's the guy who plays Kylo Ren in the new Star Wars movies. So Ian, yeah, if you want to make me a new card, make me a what can we call it? Raylo is the hashtag for him and for Kylo and Ray, but it should be come on and let's be Raylo. So my husband's gonna love this episode. I know. He actually asked me recently, he's like, do we need to talk about this Adam Driver thing? Because I feel like it's getting weird. Because he'll like catch me like watching interviews or like outtakes or like videos of him or whatever, and he's like, and he does not get it. He's like, God, that guy's like weird looking. I'm like, I don't know. Clearly it's a pattern for me. I like weird looking dudes with good personalities, I guess. Anyways, there's a little bit of weirdness for you. Okie dokie. Oh God, I've got to eat. I'm gonna faint. What else have I got for us? I think I got the rest of these. I got William, Mum's Arse. Thank you for that. I love that one. You know, it's a shame that you had to go first. You had to go to or almost first to the cold open, right? The cold audience, because that was pretty funny. I actually did not see that coming. So points for creativity there. And all of you that gave me like something funny, great job, because most of those jokes I'd never heard before, and I applaud you. So, you know what? I'm going to give away 3 prizes today because you guys were just awesome and I'm just proud of you. And so first place prize goes to MigPan85. I already have your address, I think. So I will mail, so let me know which prints you want because I'll send you the one you want. And then second place is going to go to J. Weiss Art for the terribly inappropriately funny question about Christopher Walken. So let me know what 8x10 print you want and I will send, and let me know where to send it. So send that to you can DM me on Instagram, or you can send me an email at leilani@leilanijoy.com, and I'll make sure that happens for you. And then finally, I'm going to give a prize to the creative dragoness, because I laughed my head off talking about my own stories of falling down. So thank you for that. So send your print choice and your mailing address on DM or on email, and I will get those goodies to you. So thank you so much. So let me know your questions for another episode of the Paint Along coming up soon. I will get Miss Valentine hopefully finished very soon, and she'll be available as a framed original, prints, and stickers. I think she'd make a really good sticker. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the paint along today. I'm not sure how long this episode ended up. It seemed like maybe shorter than normal, but I don't know. But I hope to paint with you guys again soon, film another one of these episodes, or maybe a Twitch stream. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to support your local guinea pig shelter or adopt from Craigslist, because there's lots of guinea pigs that need loving homes. And yeah, that's it. Spay and neuter your pets. Thank you guys for the laugh, and see you next time. Bye!